Hello, in this CSS crash course video we're going to look at selectors, properties and values. So a selector allows you to select a element or elements. So this will be a selector right here. So we are selecting every div element. The property will be this part here, the part before the colon, so the background color. So this is what we're affecting of that element. I just moved it, so let's undo that. And anything to the right of the colon is the value that you're applying. You don't put anything like an equals. You might think, if you don't program before, you just put equals and this would say background color equals yellow, and I would agree that makes sense. But CSS is, you assign values in CSS by doing the keyword, using the keyword yellow, or not using the keyword yellow, by putting something to the right. So that's, well, selectors, properties and values. But we're going to expand this tutorial a bit further and talk about the different units as well. There's pixel, there's EM, there's points, percentages, pico units, almost sound like Pikachu, centimeters, millimeters, inches. There are some other ones as well, but those are probably the main ones that you will be dealing with. So first of all, what I'm going to do is get rid of all of this. I'm going to get rid of this style tag, and what I'm going to do is create a few divs. So I'm going to put div, and inside here I'm going to put pixels, and I'm going to put a BR tag, which is going to put a new line. So what I'm going to do is copy and paste this a few times. I think I need to do about 8 times. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And now let's get rid of that. Let's just change this to EM, change this to points, change this to percentages, change this to picos, change this to centimeters, change this to millimeters, and the final one to inches. And now let's actually just review this, refresh. So actually, technically it is there. So if I were to just try and select it, it's there. It's just by default the text color is black. So let's go into our index file. Let's change the color to white. So set that white. We'll be covering colors a lot more in a separate video, so just take this with a grain of salt at the moment. Just take it for granted, and we'll explain it a bit more later on. Save that, refresh, and now we can actually see it. The next thing we're going to do is do some inline styling. I did say in the previous video that do not use inline styling apart from testing, and that's essentially what we're doing. Usually you would not use it, but once you've learned all the core aspects of CSS, you'll be able to do proper styling in a separate file. So what we're going to do is style equals, and I'm actually going to copy and paste this. Actually, I could just do it quicker than that. What I could do is do Command F, div, find all, div, so that's a quick way of doing it. And I can just go back to get rid of this white space, and now we're all done. So the next thing I'm going to show you is font dash size. So we're setting the size of the font, but again we'll be covering all of this in a separate video in terms of the properties, but we're just going to show you the different units that you can use. So this is pixel unit, so this affects the height of our text. I'm going to put 1 pixel. The next one I'm going to show you is, I'm actually going to copy and paste this, copy and paste that to here, to here, here. There's a lot of places you've got to copy and paste it. And now what I'm gonna do is change this to EM. I'll explain all these units in a moment. points to PT, percentages, can you guess it? It's not PC, it is, well, just a percent symbol. The picas to PC, not PV, PC. The centimeter value to cm, millimeter to mm, and inches to IM. Save that. Let's go back to our web browser, refresh, and you might be like, ooh, what's happened? Some looks big, some looks small. You might be trying to find a pattern because it's sort of overall it's going from small to big. Simply what's happened is, well, we've applied one of each of the units. Inches, that makes sense, is 1 inch height, 1 centimeter height, 1 millimeter height there is 1%, and that percentage is relevant to, well, the height. So if I were to show you, EM is quite a big unit. So let's go back. Let's change the pixel to 24 so it's visible. 24 pixels, refresh. That is a lot better now. Let's change the EM. EM is basically a cross-platform universal standard. If you're doing text, preferably try and use EM as much as possible. It's a fantastic unit. Let's go refresh. So it's a lot bigger now. Obviously you can make it, you can put it into decimals as well. So I could put 2.4 for example. Refresh, it's even bigger now. For points, I'm going to put 10 points. 10 points, save that. Refresh. And pixels isn't exactly the number of pixels, say, on your screen, because otherwise, if you were to zoom in and out, it would essentially almost stay the same. It's relative to the browser, which, trust me, you will be thanking them for even if you do not know it. So the next thing I'm going to show you is percentages. I'm going to put 100%, save that, refresh. So that's 100% of the height. If I were to put 500%, save that, refresh, it's 5 times the default height. And if I were to change this pica unit, I'll leave it as 1 PC. For the centimeter, leave it as that. For the millimeter, I'm going to change this to 5, so you can see it a little better. And now you can see that is half a centimeter, and that roughly looks half the height of 1 centimeter. So really, that is it for selectors, properties, values, and units. The other thing is generally you'll be using pixels, EM, and percentages for displaying on a screen. That's the recommended way. For printing, you'll use stuff like EM, centimeters, millimeters, inches, points, picas, and percentages. You don't want to be using pixel for printing. If you want more information, there will actually be a link in the source code of this video if you check that out. So it's a good way of checking out the code and checking out another fantastic link from the W3 Schools website, which has a bunch of information about different units in CSS. So that's it for this video. If you have any questions, feel free to post it on my education platform, sonarlearning.co.uk. There will be a link attached to this video which will take you to the source code page of this video and the source code page of every other video in this series. If you liked the video, please let us know. And as usual, thank you for watching, and I hope you have a great day.